There are hotels you can't find online. No website, no phone number, no listing on any map. They don't want you to find them. And yet, every night, private jets land on unmarked airstrips, their passengers guided through tunnels carved into mountains, deserts, and islands most people have never heard of. These aren't hotels for the rich. They're for the untouchable. Places where a single night can cost more than most homes in America. Where guests arrive under code names, and security teams sweep the air for hidden microphones. You won't see photos of these rooms. You'll see paintings, commissioned to look like dreams. But here's the truth that will shock you. Some of these places do exist, hidden behind shell companies, private memberships, and whispered invitations. A few have names you might recognize, Amampulo, the Alpina Gustad, or the Lanesborough in London, but those are just the public faces. Behind them, behind the gates and private hangars, lie worlds that even their staff rarely see. In this story, you'll step inside that hidden world. You'll see how billionaires built secret sanctuaries that governments barely know about. You'll discover the mountain fortress in Switzerland where rooms cost 6 figures a night. The desert Citadel is said to host only 5 guests per year. The floating Arctic capsule is rumored to belong to one of the world's richest tech founders. Each place reveals a deeper layer of power and a darker truth about what money really buys. Let me show you exactly how this happened. You've stayed in hotels before. Check-in, room key, breakfast buffet. But in the world of billionaires, those rules don't exist. Their hotels aren't built for guests, they're built for ghosts. People who want the view of the world, but never its gaze. The story starts in the 1980s, when extreme wealth began searching for something money couldn't buy: privacy. Not the kind you get behind tinted glass, but the kind that erases you completely. That's when the first generation of invisible hotels began to appear. It started quietly in Switzerland. The same country famous for its secret banks became home to secret retreats. One in particular, a mountain property reportedly called Elysium Glacier Retreat, was built inside an old military tunnel above Gustad. Sources suggest its guests include royal families and a handful of CEOs whose faces never appear in magazines. The entrance looks like part of the mountain itself. To reach it, you don't drive, you descend. A hidden elevator disguised as a rock door takes you deep inside the mountain where warmth, gold, and silence wait. According to a former private aviation consultant, some of these guests never step outside for days. The retreat provides everything: a personal chef, doctor, sommelier, and a vault-level security team. One floor is said to be entirely reserved for energy recalibration, where specialists use frequencies to reset the body's nervous system. It sounds unreal, but billionaires don't pay for real. They pay for what's unreachable. And they aren't the only ones. In the Middle East, oil heirs and investors reportedly commissioned a network of mirror hotels, properties designed to blend into the desert itself. One of them, nicknamed the Citadel in the Dunes, reflects the sand so perfectly that even drones can't find it unless the sun hits at the right angle. Why go to such lengths? Because in their world, privacy is luxury. A quiet night without cameras is worth more than gold. Now here's where things get really interesting. You fly over the Alps. Below you, snow glows like powdered diamonds. Your jet banks left, but there's no runway in sight. Only a small clearing near a forest of pines, and what looks like a maintenance building carved into the mountain wall. That's the entrance to Elysium Glacier Retreat, one of the most expensive and secretive mountain hotels ever built. According to insiders, a single night here costs $100,000 or more. And that's if you're invited. When your jet lands, men in black coats step forward. They don't ask for your passport. They already know who you are. You step into a tunnel lit with gold tones that mimic candlelight. There's no check-in desk, no lobby chatter. Only silence, snow, and the faint sound of classical music echoing through stone. Each suite is built into the rock itself. Walls shimmer with thin sheets of onyx. Windows frame glaciers like living paintings. And the temperature? Controlled to the exact degree your body finds most comfortable. Determined before your arrival through data shared by your personal doctor. There's a dining hall, but you'll never see another guest. Meals arrive from invisible corridors, served by hands you'll never meet. Every plate is designed for your DNA profile, even the salt balance matches your blood chemistry. Plot twist. This isn't fantasy. Luxury brands like Amon Resorts and Six Senses already use bio-personalization for wellness guests. But Elysium takes it further. No public reservations, no media photos, and no permanent address. According to one private concierge in Zurich, even the cleaning staff arrive blindfolded. It's not just about comfort, it's control. Every door, every camera, every scent is curated to protect identity. In some cases, guests reportedly sign non-disclosure agreements just to step inside. And if you think that's extreme, wait until you see what happens in the desert. Because far from the cold quiet of the Alps, there's another kind of silence, hotter, deeper, and even harder to find. A place where sand stretches farther than sight. Where one wrong step on Google Earth could reveal what billionaires want buried forever. And that's where the next secret waits, hidden under the blazing sun. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. The desert is endless. At first glance, there's nothing here. Just sand, heat, and silence. But somewhere in the heart of the Arabian dunes, a shape begins to rise from the horizon. Not a hotel, not even a building. It's a mirage made of glass. They call it the Citadel in the dunes. A fortress hidden inside the desert, invisible to satellites unless the sun hits its mirrored walls just right. According to architects familiar with its design, the structure was commissioned by a group of Gulf investors in the early 2000s. It took nearly 10 years to complete. And the rumor? Only 5 guests per year ever stay here. When your helicopter approaches, you see nothing until a small patch of sand suddenly glints. And then, like a curtain being pulled, the Citadel appears. A silver dome, seamless, floating above dunes like a mirage. Your pilot lands beside what looks like a sand ripple, but it's actually a retractable landing pad that slides open into an underground hangar. Inside, the air is cool, perfumed with desert flowers that only bloom at night. The walls are smooth as glass. Your suite opens onto a courtyard with a private pool made from imported volcanic stone. When you swim, you're told not to speak. This isn't a place for sound. It's a place for forgetting. Sources say the Citadel is owned by a private holding company based in Abu Dhabi, but its real investors remain unnamed. Even deliveries are coordinated through proxy firms to conceal ownership. Every digital trace is wiped within 24 hours. Staff are flown in for 3-month rotations and live in underground quarters, completely disconnected from the internet. Plot twist. The Citadel doesn't advertise luxury. It advertises disappearance. Its brochure, if you ever saw one, carries only 3 words. No eyes, no noise. A former guest, speaking anonymously, described it like this. It's the first place where silence felt heavy, like you could hear your thoughts echo. The Citadel isn't alone. A smaller property in Oman, nicknamed the Mirage Vault, is said to use sand-coated fiberglass walls that reflect radar and thermal scans. Some believe these mirror hotels serve another purpose. Safe zones for private diplomacy or unrecorded meetings. Think about that. While we scroll through hotel photos online, billionaires are hosting world-shifting conversations in rooms no one can locate. A merger, a treaty, an alliance, sealed not in a boardroom, but beneath the dunes. According to one intelligence analyst, privacy isn't just comfort for them. It's power. The more hidden the space, the freer the conversation. And that's the real key. These hotels aren't built for rest. They're built for control. But even these desert fortresses have limits. Because there's one place money and heat can't reach. A world of ice, silence, and endless horizon. And in that frozen emptiness, the richest people on Earth built something beyond imagination. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. You wake to silence. No sand, no wind, no horizon, just white. Your aircraft cuts through Arctic fog. Below, the ocean glitters like steel, and a circle of faint blue lights flickers in the distance. That's it, the Arkus capsule project. Rumored to be one of the world's most private and experimental luxury retreats, part hotel, part laboratory, part myth. Officially, it doesn't exist. But satellite photos show something unusual drifting off Norway's coast. Several domed pods tethered together, each glowing faintly under the ice. Locals whisper that the pods belong to a tech billionaire who wanted a place untouched by history. When your helicopter descends, you realize the capsules are enormous, each one the size of a mansion. You step out onto a glass walkway, the Arctic Ocean pulsing beneath your feet. No sound, except the groan of distant ice. A voice greets you through your earpiece. Welcome to Arkus. You are now completely off-grid. Inside, the air smells faintly of ozone and cedar. Every surface gleams like moonlight, curved, soft, futuristic. There's no staff here, only AI systems and remote caretakers operating from hundreds of miles away. Food appears through automated lifts. Climate adjusts to your body temperature in seconds. Each guest occupies a private capsule, and no two pods are ever docked side by side. That's how far the obsession with privacy has gone. You explore the main chamber, where a massive glass wall reveals the sea below. Schools of fish shimmer in bioluminescent trails, painting the room in living color. Somewhere deep beneath, turbines convert ocean current into clean energy, making the retreat entirely self-sustaining. And yet, there's a catch. Guests can't bring phones, watches, or trackers. Their devices are stored in sealed cases before entry. Even the coordinates of the Arkus capsule change weekly to prevent anyone from knowing where they truly are. According to maritime records, the pods register under different names every month. One source even claimed Arkus is used for quiet summits, private meetings between ultra-rich investors and policymakers seeking isolation from media and governments. If true, this would make Arkus not just a hotel, but a floating nation of privilege. No borders, no cameras, no accountability. Plot twist. Some analysts believe the project is a test, an early model for future, sovereign living capsules, where the elite can live beyond the reach of law or crisis. Imagine it. While cities flood, fires spread, and economies crash, a few chosen guests drift peacefully above the chaos, powered by solar light and silence. It sounds dystopian, but the technology is real. Companies like Ocean Builders and Freedom Ship International have already announced similar ocean habitats. Arkus, it seems, just took the idea private. In this icy kingdom, luxury isn't gold or marble. It's disappearing. And as you stand before the glowing sea, one thought chills you more than the wind. Maybe the future of wealth isn't about owning more. Maybe it's about being untouchable. So what does all this mean for us today? Take a breath. Step back from the Alps, the desert, and the Arctic Sea. Now look again, not as a guest, but as an observer. Because these hidden hotels aren't just retreats. They're signals. Each one whispers a truth about how power is evolving. For most people, luxury means access. More visibility, more status, more spotlight. But for billionaires, luxury has flipped. It now means invisibility. That's the new gold. Privacy, silence, control. The freedom to exist without being seen or recorded. You might think, why would anyone spend $100,000 a night just to hide? But in their world, every conversation is a potential headline, every step a data point. To disappear, even for one night, is the highest form of peace. According to analysts who study elite behavior, the super-rich are quietly building shadow infrastructures. Private airports, private islands, private communication networks. And these secret hotels are part of that web, the resting points between worlds. Plot twist. Some experts believe they're not just hotels anymore. They're escape systems. Miniature, self-contained civilizations that can operate without the public grid. Think about Arkus, the floating Arctic capsules, renewable power, AI service, zero contact. That's not a hotel. That's a prototype for post-society living. And it's not just the Arctic. Across the U.S., private members clubs are expanding into hidden resorts that don't even appear on maps. In Florida, reports mention an air-only retreat accessible only by approved jets. In California, rumors swirl of a data-free valley where no device is allowed past the gate. A little taste of that invisible peace sold by the hour. But for now, these sanctuaries remain hidden, floating, waiting, guarded by silence and money. And here's the final thought. Every time you book a normal hotel, every time you scroll through photos of infinity pools or ocean views, remember, there's another world just beyond the edge of the map. A world you can't search, can't tag, can't post. A world designed to never be found. It's not a myth. It's a mirror. And it shows what happens when wealth buys not more light, but more shadow. So, if this story opened your eyes to the secret architecture of luxury, if it made you wonder what else is hidden behind the perfect photos, then don't just stop here. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to uncover more of the billionaire world's invisible systems, from private islands built like fortresses, to jets that never land, to vaults that hold art no one has ever seen. And if you want to go deeper, tell me in the comments. Which secret hotel would you dare to visit, the mountain, the desert, or the sea? Because somewhere right now, another sanctuary is being built. No signs, no listings, no reviews, only whispers. And one day soon, you might hear its name.